So, I have in front of me here an image of three men. Looks like one, but this guy is a little bit more wily than your average politician. Now, it's associated with this man, this funny-looking man, of course, most people know as the Right Honourable David Cameron. Now, Grant Shapps is part of David Cameron's cabinet. In fact, this is basically one of David Cameron's austerity agents, because this is the politician who's been helping to push through a lot of the austerity measures, including the controversial inoccupancy levy, otherwise known as the bedroom tax, but various other council cutbacks, hospitals, you name it. This guy is involved. You can tell by the blue tie, can't you? Now, this guy's interesting because if you look at his Wikipedia article, it's fairly clean. It's talking about all of his great successes in life, and it also tells you he's a Privy Councillor, and he has been since 2010, and he's the Conservative Party chairman, replacing Baroness Worsley. He's a minister without portfolio, so although he's acting out a portfolio to do with austerity measures and basically torturing the poor, he is a minister without portfolio, and he's unpaid. So he's doing a lot of stuff on behalf of good old David, but they're not paying him. So how does he keep buying himself such beautiful ties? So I'm looking at these guys' Wikipedia article, and the Wikipedia article is basically just like a certificate of like someone doing really well. It's like they should put a ribbon on it that says Truth Speaker of the Year, Transparency Warden of the Decade. The only slight hiccup is if you'd looked at his Wikipedia article previously, let's say, for example, before the 29th of June 2013, when it was in fact edited by somebody. And the edit is probably more enlightening to the facts of Mr. Shapps here, or shall we call him Michael Green or Sebastian Fox, because this openly and in bold letters at the top informs us of all of his identities, all three of them. And it also has a section, section number 4, labelled Alternative Identity Practice, which has been completely removed from the updated version. Now, Michael Green, that is his pseudonym under which he writes, and he writes books about how to get rich quick. He also writes books about the confidence to win, sort of self-help books. So Michael Green is that guy there, although he has been known to actually use different photographs depending on which identity he's using, especially when it comes to his third identity, who is Sebastian Fox, a wily old fox. Now, it's what the wily old fox gets up to that I'm interested in, because I'm pretty sure that it links to a well-known place called Las Vegas. So it's alternative identity practice. Grant Shapps has a complex history. I think they should probably just leave it at that. He has a complex history of playing with identity in ways beneficial to his own economic and political goals. So he plays with identity to benefit his economy and his political goals. Okay. He denies his use of alter egos constitute leading a double life. Now, anyone who wants to be successful in defrauding people would always be advocates for the idea that the use of alter egos doesn't constitute leading a double life. They're not going to say, I'm leading a double life, by the way. Did you know? Yeah, I'm a politician, but I'm also a businessman. You want to do business? You have to keep it quiet. I've got 2 alter egos. You're talking to one of them right now. Never speak to me if you see me being the other. This is the life of an ordinary politician, we're led to believe. Shapps has founded a number of businesses, sometimes under pseudonyms. We know, we've been reading about it. He has been photographed as Michael Green, a self-help guru. There he is. He's wearing a name badge. He's in Las Vegas, and is a man called Michael Green, a multi-millionaire. Now, I mentioned that this piece of the Wikipedia article has come out. It's been basically, what does it say? It's been edited out, to use their terminology. And if you look at the history of it, there's a page where you can see the history and you can find out who edited it. So I clicked on who edited it, and it comes up basically, it's an IP address. And there it is, there's the page. User contributions. And there's the IP address from which it was edited. And these little IP addresses come up a lot. Some of them have names. Generally, the people who identify themselves and edit it, generally the grand man of Wikipedia says no. It's like when you try and edit the 9/11 Wikipedia article, basically. Anything you put on there will be automatically deleted because it seems to be trash or spam. Maybe that's what I'm doing now. This is just spam. So there's more detailed information about the IP address that comes from the Wikipedia article. And you'll notice that it says country in the middle at the top. Anonymous proxy. It also gives it gives the IP address again, and it gives the name of the organization, Areti Internet Limited. Wikipedia's transparency module about looking out who edits these things is actually quite sophisticated. It has a map that tells you where it is. You'll notice, however, that it's black, and it turns out it's black because there's no zoom level on Google Maps. You'll notice in the bottom left it says Google, because this is just a Google map imported into their website. So I went on normal Google Maps, and there it is. So the editing of Grant Shapps's Wikipedia article came just off the Gulf of Guinea in Africa. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are already thinking already, this is like a way station. It's like a network hub in the middle of nowhere to enable the sending of information throughout the planet. So, and if you zoom in, it's got this little nodule, ding. That's as close as you can get on Google, and that's like a tiny little island just off the coast of New Guinea, Gulf of Guinea, and Ghana. If you zoom in any more on Google Maps, you get that. We are sorry, but we don't have imagery at this zoom. But you'll see, of course, it's called an anonymous proxy, and a proxy is where you pretend that you are broadcasting from somewhere else. So there's definitely a hoster here who's helping Mr. Grant Shapps. Of course, the trail is now with this name, Areti Internet Limited. And if you do a quick Google search for that, you're going to come up with, of course, a big internet marketing company. These are the only kind of people that own large servers on strange islands surrounded by porpoises. Maybe sharks down there. Do you reckon there's any sharks down there at Areti? I'm not talking about the ones in the offices, obviously. Now, Areti, if you look them up, by the way, they are based in Las Vegas. Yeah, they are. There they are. There's their offices marked with an A. It's just basically in Las Vegas. Now this character, Grant Shapps, Michael Green, Sebastian the Fox, what he's basically been doing is been running internet companies which basically just make money by repetitively performing a task. Like, he basically creates these things known as bots, and it's a computer-driven web model that creates cash over time in small amounts. It's the equivalent, I always think, of, I think it's Superman 3 or something, where there's the guy who works out how to save the half a cent from every pay packet, and he buys himself a Ferrari. That's basically what Grant Shapps is. He's not only got that Ferrari, he actually drives a plane. He's got his own plane, and there's a thing called City Airport, which goes to the city, and it's only for smaller planes, like private aircraft and stuff. So I reckon Mr. Grant Shapps, he's been skidding around on that airpad down there at the city, I reckon. Now, this guy, how can we understand the psychology, the entity that is this man? And I look at it in this way. David Cameron needs people around him that he can get rid of at a moment's notice. What he needs is really corrupt individuals putting through all of this corrupt legislation and encouraging dissenters who try to stop this legislation. They have these mouthpieces aimed towards them. They have this thing called malleable public opinion through newspapers and internet and information. Grant Shapps is there in that position so he can do as much as he possibly can before he gets found out. Now, he will get found out that he's completely that he's involved in matters that he shouldn't be, based on his very, very thinly worded contract that he has with Westminster. He will get into trouble, and what will happen before the public know exactly what it is that he's been doing to do with austerity and pushing through laws and manipulating other MPs, he will get found out, and because he's got so much dirt on him with his dirty businesses and his involvement in Las Vegas and his manipulation of his own persona, it'll make it very, very easy for a bit of dirt to come up. When they realize it's about to go wrong, they will get rid of him so that the news story is about him being a dodgy businessman and not about the austerity measures or the legislation or the influence upon Parliament in general. Grant Shapps, don't look into his eyes. He's got 6. 2 of them are on him. 2 of them are on him in Las Vegas. And 2 of them belong to a wily old fox.